welcome to Stonemund. This is a map that I'm kind of recreating in my own way, but it is based off of an old Minecraft server, RP server that I played on years ago, back in like 2011. As you can see here, I'm just kind of showcasing some of the build and the map. We're in the Stonemund Town Hall right now, just kind of looking over the land. During this video, I'll be giving a brief backstory about Stonemund, the map itself, the server, and why I'm actually doing this. Now, I'm intentionally looking away over there. In the video, I didn't really do a good job. This is just afterthought commentary. Because the surprise is over there in the distance. But you kind of see how the town hall looks. Now, it has a more stoic theme to it, almost sort of like Nordic in a way. And there was a lot of inspirations taken for that kind of building theme. This is a work in progress. Stonemund is going to be a town built in the hill of this sort of like mountainous range. I still got a lot of work to do to it, but this is the town hall in its entirety. In the original map, it was the capital, and I think I'll still keep it that way. Now, as we come along here, we can see that this is the Stonemund, well, not Stonemund wall, but the Arithonia wall, the Great Wall that was built. When the map goes live, this is where we'll spawn. I call it the pools of life. So when you spawn in, this is where you'll come up out of the water, and then you have a choice between either the Stonemund side or the Manarian side. And it's kind of ironic that I have it, left blue, red right. That was purely unintentional, so there's nothing there to think of it like that. But as you go to the Stonemund side, you can see that it looks like it's war-torn, like it's been through some stuff. There's ruins everywhere. You can see, kind of looking up those cracked stairs, that a lot has happened here. And I think the perfect shot is this. You come through, and this is your point of view. This is my pride and joy that I have spent years working on and off a lot. Nothing's really been dedicated. But if you look over to your right, this is where the capital of Stonemund will be. And once we come around here, you'll see the old city that I'm recreating from the server. Now, I don't have access to that server anymore. It is long gone, and the files for it, the map data and everything is gone itself. But there are some old videos and old screenshots that I was able to retrieve to kind of recreate it one from one. And this is what was known as Arithonia in the server. This is the little town that I created myself, kind of like an off branch of Stonemund, and it was further down away from Stonemund itself. There's two ways you can go to Stonemund. So I think I'm just kind of going back through here to give a shot of what I wanted to build there. As I was flying through, just getting some recording, I was just kind of in my own headspace. But we come through here, there's two ways to get down to it. And there will probably be more, but as of right now, you can come this way, and it'll lead you back to that little town square. And this is the old ruins of Arithonia. And this is the town that I made. And with a couple of help from other people who put their effort into it, most of the town that you'll see is comparable to the Land of Arithonia video that I'll put a link up to, and I'll also put a screenshot up on the screen there for you, so you can get a side-by-side comparison. It's not entirely one for one, but I'm trying. This is the old tower that I built, and I just decided to make it look like it was in a state of disarray. This happened after a Great War, and the people that were left behind basically decided to pack up and move to another spot of land, and just said, you know what, screw it, we're going to make it bigger. So they have watch over the entire land. Since this this video recording, I have done a little bit more work to the town. So this is a Flag's Magic Shop, I believe, or Portal Room. That right there is supposed to be like the food store that I think was somebody had built a random house at the time. I don't have video of any of the interior, so I'm just kind of going based off of memory. But the pictures that I do have, I am able to kind of get a recreation of the layout so far. You come around and it's just all forest. Right around here, there was a lava cross, and I'll explain more of that when in the near future. I'll probably make a couple videos on this because I want to release this map eventually, something that I'm proud of. As you can see, that this is a long pathway to the tower, and when you come through it, that's what you're greeted with. This is Arithonia, or Stonemund to a large degree, because the capital might be on the hill, but this is where they've set up shop. The gate is functional. It is a redstone gate. It's based off a daylight sensor right underneath that campfire. I still got a lot of work to do on this, but as you come through the gate, you'll come up these stairs, and they're winding stairs, and this is one of those things that I was just super proud of myself for, just how it looks. Again, the gates are powered by a daylight sensor, so whenever the sun comes out, those will open up. The theme of it is clearly red and white. It's kind of like the running theme for Stonemund on the original server. I don't think anybody had a set color scheme for it. I think when I made the original tower, I just kind of went with that. And right now we're just kind of getting a flyover of the city right now. This is the Arithonia ports. This is the shipbuilding area. This is where you dock and port. Really happy with how this turned out. I wasn't too sure how I wanted it to look when I was building it years ago. That right there is the bridge to go into the stables. And I think we'll get to that portion of the video pretty soon, if I'm not mistaken. That is a statue that I saw on Reddit years ago that I was like, let me modify that. So I made it my own. You come through here, and the switches are meant to raise up the gates. You come through here, and this is what you're greeted with. Now, I think I'm going to be going through a couple of passovers here, so I might have to cut the video just to make sure that it all kind of lines up with the audio. But looking up is just towering. It's just in your face. This is my best build ever. This is the Arithonia Riverport docks. This is the coal shipment reserves. There's some parkour to this room I was also very happy of as well, and I made sure that you can do it. It's difficult, but you can do it. I have done it. This is a area that I'm continuing to add on to. This is supposed to be like a little fight club area. There's a couple chests up in here. If you can get to it, there might be some good rewards for you. This is like the Minerian Stonemund fight club area where you stand here and you're just like, yeah, get him. I got a couple switches there to raise up the door so that you can block people into the arena or from getting in or out. The copper golem here, poor buddy. I did have him attached to a lead, and I don't know what happened. There's so much that I've done to this little town, this little city, that I can't even remember half the stuff that's even here right now. But you can get an idea of the architecture. You still got that Nordic theme, like the Stonemund on top of the hill there, but it also has that militaristic theming for it as well. And that was kind of the main theme for the server, which is called the Land of Arithonia. This is going to be something I'm going to be adding on here pretty soon. You can kind of get a sense of this is a well-fortified town. There's a lot of I wouldn't say security here, but after the Great War, I would say it's like the Second Great War. If I recall from the server itself, they basically said, screw it. We're going to do something different. We're going to do something better. We're not going to be left as vulnerable. And you get that sense just by the placement of the blocks, the type of blocks that are being used, which is mostly stone slabs for this area, anyways. And then I switched over to andesite and then stone bricks. I think I'm waiting for the sun to come up here for those gates to open and close. This is the stables. Free steed hitching inside. Arithmon stable horse entrance. Yeah, that's a Larion. That was a horse that I cheated in, essentially using command blocks. I just, at the time when horses came out, I was like, yeah, let me see how fast I can get a horse. This right here, oh, that's just this bread and butter right there. And that's on a daylight sensor, and you can control it yourself. These also go up as well. I got to fix the redstone on that. But they're supposed to come down during the day and go up at night. But I think I'll leave it opposite. This is the Arithmon Forge. This right here I'm also very proud of, because in the original map, this forge didn't look like this. That lava pit right there was the same. But the way that you have the water come down into the lava pit in the middle, and if we fly up, yep, there we go. You'll see how there's water accumulating on top so that the water can flow down into the forge, so that you have that quenching skill you can use whenever you're making weapons. Not too good on blacksmith terminology, so if anybody out there is a blacksmith, forgive me. This is like an alchemy sort of area. Still not entirely sure of how I want to make the layout look. And it's a work in progress with this one here. This here is going to be another gate for the city to kind of block off entrance to the tower here. And you know, this is the bunker for the guards. That was originally for the switch for the gates to come up. Then I put it on a daylight sensor. You can sit in this cauldron and you can fire your bow and arrow off at the entrance there, kind of duck if you need to, get on top of it, duck in order to get good point of view. Same thing on the other side. And then I think we come over here to the statue. This is in honor of an ancient king's legacy, Menivius. This is the king of Stonemund, the ancient king. Essentially, I'm using him from the original server to keep that memory alive. Now, this is supposed to be like, originally I was going to make this a church, but as I was building it, I was like, I don't know really what to do in here, because I'm trying to fill the gaps in. And it kind of eventually turned into like this archery sort of thing up here. And I got a couple ideas for it. I could make it into like an armor store as well as an archery trading facility. You know, the options are there. Oh, I had broken out because I didn't know how to get out at the time. And I think I come back up here and I figure out how to get out. So there's a lot of work that needs to be done in here. And that was supposed to be like a lower level portion of the church. That was my thought process at the time. But excuse me if I'm sounding a little raspy. I might be getting sick. I think just destroyed the door because I was like, you know what, screw it. I already left a hole on the other side. This is the arrow to indicate that this is going to be the archery shop. This is a portion of the Minerian building. So it's supposed to be like a cartography mapping place, because the Minerians in the original server lore was that they were seafaring people, and you know, after the Great War, the plague essentially ravaged all of Arithonia. Minerians got hit particularly the hardest, but Stonemunds were pretty viciously attacked and fought with vigor. And the story that I came up with for the after fact was that the Minerians basically abandoned their kingdom and eventually came back and found that Stonemund had endured. Then this is what they built. But in doing so, they decided to try and get a truce, because there's the original backstory of the server was that Stonemund and Mineria were essentially mining operations. This is a portion of the tower that leads down into the Minerian office here. I still got to do some work on this as well, but you can kind of get an idea of their color scheme as well, which is blue and white. Um, the idea that I have for this in particular, the hidden chest there, so you can hide your items and stuff like that. Um, they have like a kind of secret entrance in order to get up in here to kind of like smuggle stuff in and out, or maybe to do some political propaganda type things. Again, that's nothing to do with current day politics. That's anything that's going on in the world right now. It's more so just how they all work in general. So that's kind of what I'm applying here to a degree. Nothing that's said is gonna like make you say like, "Oh, this shouldn't be happening." Blah blah blah. You're kind of trying to subtly say something. No, it's nothing like that. That was just a under portion tunnel going underneath that arrow building, and this is where we get to the tower itself. And this is my pride and joy. Just I think we're gonna fly up here and kind of get an idea of the scope of this, because you're looking around, and this is a day-night clock. I also got to fix this as well. It works with the day and night, but the scale of this is massive. I placed all of this by hand. Granted, it wasn't creative, but none of this was used in an MC edit tool. This was all placed by hand. And I think this is me trying to see if the clock will change. And I think later down the line, I realized, oh, I have something over top of the sensor that is preventing it from changing. But it's supposed to cycle through with the sun. Now, we're doing a 360 around the tower here for the middle portion, because every single side of this tower has a clock. And it does work. Just not properly right now. Run into a tree here. And once I can get that to work, I'll be so happy. I just got to go through some different design iterations of how to get the clock working again. But just looking at it is so impressive. And this right here, I had to like redo this again. To check myself up, like, yeah, come through here. You look down, you're going up underneath, and that's the entrance right there. You come in, and this is what you're greeted with. Everything in this room was meticulously placed. I wanted every portion of this room just to feel like it was important. This is the throne room of the Crusaders Tower. This is where your ambassadors, your diplomats come to, state their case. This is where your villagers come, the wrong way there, to, observe everything. They'll stand here on the benches, and I was really excited when I got these benches done, because this was unlike anything I'd ever done before. And the way that the benches are set up, you can get a very good view of everything. You come up here to your pedestal, you flip the switch, the light comes on, and a firework comes out, notating the color of your nation. And you can state your case. If you have a grievance or anything like that, the king will be up there. He'll make the decision. All four corners has this. This right here, I'm also very proud of as well. The white throne, the lava coming out, just the way it looks. This is a placeholder model right here. This is where like maybe your ambassadors will sit, or king and queen or something like that. And this portion here, I'm geeking out about it, because to this day, the idea that you have there, and to be able to make it to come to life, and it looks almost as better as you imagined it would. That portion right there, that lava cross, was what was outside originally in the old Arithonia map. And we're going up the stairs here, also pretty unique. I'm pretty proud of that as well. I think I realized that there is a lava cross up at the very top there, so I go back down. Yep. So it just, everywhere you look, there's just something interesting to view. I don't want anything just to look boring. I want you to be captivated whenever you come through, and it just looks grandiose. And this isn't really what Stonemund was about. They were more rugged, rigid type people. There's a strip club, 21. We'll explore that another day. I still got to work on that. I think I got a couple villagers in there right now on the pole. You have the balcony area here. for the tower, where your guards can come out and overlook everything, the landscape. They can defend from up here as well. I plan on putting more buildings out there eventually, in the shape of the Stonemund on the hill. Uh, just the unique design patterns of everything right now is what I wanted to stand out the most. There's some symmetry to everything, but there's also some asymmetry to everything as well. So this is the Minerian Ambassador Suite. This portion of the room is completed, as far as I'm concerned. Doesn't look that bad. We come over to the other side, and it's still in construction. Just kind of got some stuff laid out. We come through. This is essentially the second floor. So you have the bathing room, which is essentially the bathroom, and then you have the kitchen. And then I think over here at the bathing room and then the restrooms. That's right. So restrooms is over there. This is where you would come up. I was so proud of that too. I was like, I got that down. Yeah, that's a little, basically a way for the guards to prevent you from getting in. You got your third level access. And this is just the other portion of it that is incompleted, but it gives you an idea of how the other side will look. So everything that I'm doing right now is just kind of on the whim, just how can I make this look? And then I just go back to the other side and be like, okay, I can make it look like this. So you come through here, and this is essentially how it's going to look when it's done. This is pretty much like the guard vetting station. So you have your credentials ready. Over here where all the campfires are, that's where more of the city is going to be built. All of its placeholder. Let's see, you come back through here, and then you have the kitchen area. This side, I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to call it, because as you saw down on the first floor, there was 2 other spots. It wasn't just Mineri and Stonemund. So I'm thinking about adding 2 more kingdoms, maybe smaller ones, out in the world somewhere, because there's really no other place other than the biome that you see here that's different than maybe the taiga biome. That's it. I think we're going to be going up to the 3rd level access. This portion is incomplete. I don't know what to add here, and I'm still kind of working on that. That right there is the clock on the inside, and I'll get to that in another video. Kind of give you an idea of what I was working with at the time. Same deal here. Got an empty spot I got to fill in. I think that is 3rd level access, so yes. And then we come over here to the restrooms and the bathing room. So restrooms are first, I believe. Yes. And you come up here. This is where you wash your hands. Thought that was pretty neat. Same principal idea as the lava and the forge. This is your stalls. You flip the switch. You use a toilet. Flush your hands. Flush your hands. Wash your hands. If you flush your hands and wash them in that way, that's you. That's cool. Got like 6 stalls in here. Really, I was just working with a compact space, and I didn't know what to really do here, so I just made it like this. Every stall is its own private bathroom. You're not sharing with anybody, using a trough. Looking at you, Louisiana. We're going over here to the bathing room. I can still do some more work with this. I don't know really what to do. Limited on space and really the type of stuff I could accomplish here. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with how this turned out so far. Pretty basic and simple. I might try and do some designs on the wall over there to make it seem like it's a towel rack. I think we come over here to the kitchen next. Yes, this one I'm kind of happy with, like very pleased, because you come around here and it's basically like a bar and grill type thing. Flip the switch. This is your cold area, so this is where all your ice and frozen fish and stuff like that would go. I used to work in food industry, working with pizza mainly, so this kind of gave me an idea of how to work. Oh, I forgot that pushed you. I might be able to do something with that. You open up this door and you go to the cooking area. You got your pork, your fish, and your water. Just your cauldrons. This is where your food is that you get from the cold side, the pork. All your furnaces and your anvils, which is going to be like your cooking plate. Then you got your soap water, rinse water, and sanitation water. That's where I get the whole, pizza thing from. And most industry kitchens use that, as your you're soap, rinse, and sanitize. So it was just a way to fill in the space. That was a table you could like cook your food on. We're going down now. And then I think we'll go to the third level access. Now, this is what I am extremely proud of. I work the most in this area, and the backstory for this, I'm satisfied as much as I don't know any other way to say it. I'm ecstatic, really, for everybody to get to see this. This is essentially a terrarium inside of the tower, and it was built as a means to continue building the tower up, because the taller the tower gets, it's going to get harder to get wood up there. So they just decided to grow their own trees and continue building. And eventually it turned into a play area for the king's little girl. You see up there the sun and the moon. I'm still working on the moon sky. You got her little mushroom kingdom over here, a couple foxes. Kind of gives her an idea of where to of what the world would look like on the outside, seeing as how the world is dangerous and doesn't want her getting hurt. So this just gives her a little snippet of that freedom, I guess you could say, what it's actually like. Come here, there's secrets everywhere in this area. I think I got chests hidden everywhere here. I'm not sure. This is the old lumber mill. You got your logs set right there, your barrels. You got the tree skinned, ready to be cut into planks. You got another balcony portion over here. You can go up. You can look out. And it's on all four sides from the looks of it. Yep, you can come out here to the balcony, and you can look out well above everything. I think this is also, that was like a chest for arrows, another defense mechanism. You come down and you get a look around of your surroundings. Oh, and I thought I saw something over there. I was like, did I build something over there? So as I said earlier in the video, everything I try to keep symmetrical until I want it to be asymmetrical. This is your moon, still working on the sky. I'm going to add more sky over there. This is your sun. It's got the light blue sky and the clouds. And then you come down here, and this is a winding kind of corridor, and I intentionally made it to where the blocks were high, so you had to go through it. But you can go either way to get to this one set of stairs that's here. I felt that was sufficient enough to get up to the next level. It really wasn't that much room as I was adding stuff in, so I was like, let me just do it on one side and let me just make it winding in Pearson's way. So you can go up either way, and it's going to take you to the same spot. Going through the clouds here, and then we're getting up to the unfinished portion of the tower. Now, at the time of writing, doing commentary for this video, I have completed that stairway going upwards to the next bit of the tower. I'm not sure what to put in here. I might make this the throne room for the king, or a ballroom for guests. Still kind of up in the air about that. I'm looking here now to try and get up. There we go. Play. And this is the library area. This is what my little brother had helped me with, and he's the one that did this area. I modified it. He put a beacon in, and then I just added on to it. These are your stairways that's going to be going up. I think one portion of it is done as well. I've done a little bit of work to this, and this is pretty much where your like enchantment and dark magic type stuff is going to be. And I think this is where I'm talking about. I'm going to let the stairway come down there. You come up here, and this is where I use the clouds to my advantage. Most people turn the clouds off, but I figured since it's going through the tower, let me just use it as an idea. And I came up with the thought process of this is just going to be a forge area. So it's smoky in there, blacksmiths, all that goodness. So this is another unfinished portion of the tower. I might add a couple more floors here where the outline of everything is. And then I think this is maps, some chests that I had. Yeah, it's all maps for the surrounding area, because I was going to put a command center there. And this, I finished this recently. the way that this tower looks is almost like a queen. The corset of the wood kind of squeezing inwards with the belt around it. The city up underneath, the decorations, the just the accents of everything really make it stand out. And I still got a lot of work to do from the middle portion up, which is what we're looking at now. The top portion is almost like a crown in a way. That I'll never do anything like this ever again. But you come through and you just see the amount of detail that's in it, even though it's pretty much using the same set of blocks. I was challenging myself in order to make something that I could look at and just be in awe of. This is the top portion of it. I have always had the idea to have an arena up here. Like every floor would have like some sort of arena, but then I thought against it, but I still kept the arena there. And then I just added around it. And I enclosed the roof in completely, and then I cut it out and then raised up the walls. This is your flying area, elytra, dragon riding, gas, happy gas area where it's like a stable of sorts. I've got it to where I'm using the tower in the way that it's built and just working with it. I'm not trying to leave any gaps in the tower itself. We come through here. I still gotta do some prettying up for the entrance there, but I wanted to have another sort of bench circling around the arena here for people to go to. And the idea behind this was that it's like a training area for like warriors, or like the final stage of, let's say, you as a player to overcome whatever challenge or to prove yourself essentially. And then you come through here, and this is I call it the mouth of the queen, but I might call it something else because it sounds a little dirty. You got your elytra on, looking around, and this is the land. It's literally watching over everything. You jump, you fly down, you see the town of Stonemund to your left there. You come back over to the waters. And then for the next video, we'll go over Mineria. It's nowhere near complete, but one day it will be. And I'll give you some backstory about that as well once I get everything fleshed out. But as of right now, this is the Land of Arithonia, and that was a tour of Stonemund. So I just want to say thank you all for watching, and I hope to see you in the next video. Take care.